Hi friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Masandra Mustafa, and for today's video I will be showing you how to make this beautiful crochet top. All the materials that you need and all the stitches that we're using making this top will be in the description box below, so definitely check them out. And also I would advise you to watch the full video before you start making the top. So let's get right into making this top. So for this tutorial, I'm using a medium-waisted yarn, a measurement tape, and a size 3mm crochet hook. And for this, we will be using a bust measurement. So my bust measurement is 36 inches, and 36 inches divided by 2 because we'll be working on both panels separately. That ends up with 18 inches. So to get started with a pattern, we are going to chain a total of 70, make a slip knot, and chain a total of 70 chains. So now that I have a total of 70 chains, this is how it looks basically. So a total of 70 chain is actually 16 inches when it's not stretched, and then it's 17.5, almost 18 inches when it's stretched. So to get started with row 1, I'm going to chain an extra one, and right into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to go there with my first double crochet, and right into the very next with another double crochet. So basically row 1 is just a simple double crochet in every chain until the very end. So after I completed row 1, this is how wide the front panel is. So like I said, basically it's 17 inches. When it's stretched, it's above 18, and the reason is because my bust measurement is, like I said, 36 inches. So when it's divided, it's 18 inches, which is perfect. So to get started with row 2, where we start working our actual pattern, we are going to chain 1, and into the first double crochet we are going to insert a first double crochet right in there, and we are going to go ahead and insert 9 more double crochets. So this is our second double crochet, the third double crochet, so we inserted I did 10 double crochets, sorry. So I did 10 double crochets into the first 10 double crochets from the previous row, 10 double crochets into the first 10 double crochet. Now we are going to go ahead and start our first front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and instead of inserting your hook right there, you're going to insert your hook right here. Basically we're just doing a basic front post double crochet. So yarn over, instead of inserting your hook right there, we're going to go all around and insert our hook right there. So this completes our first batch of front post double crochet. So from here we are going to go ahead and do another 10 simple double crochet. So after a second batch of 10 double crochet, we are going to go ahead and do a second batch of front post double crochet, which is 1 and 2. And after this, we are just going to go ahead and do another third batch of 10 double crochet. So basically, you're doing the same pattern until the end of row 2. Whenever you do 10 set of double crochet, you're going to do 2 sets of front post double crochet until you get to the end of the row. And I will see you guys at the end of the row. So coming up at the end of row 2, as you can see, I have 10 double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, 10 2 10 2 10 2 10 2 10 2. So basically I have 10 double crochet at the beginning and 10 double crochet at the ends. So for row 2, we are going to chain 1 and then turn our work. So chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, it's just for the beginning, it's just a starting chain. And right into the first double crochet, we are going to go with our first double crochet, and into the next with another. So we are basically going to do it for another 10 double crochet. 3 5 6 7 8 9 10. So because we did front post double crochet for the previous row, this time around we are going to do back post double crochet. And to do back post double crochet, you're going to yarn over. So instead of inserting your crochet hook like you usually do like this, so this time around you're going to go at the back. So you're going to go right at the back like this, and then you do your first front back post double crochet in this case, and yarn over again. So and go right, instead of just going to the front, you're going at the back this time around. Yarn over at the back, and that completes your first back double crochet. So now we are going to go again with another 10 simple double crochet before we go to our second set of back post double crochet. So coming up to our second set of back post double crochet, we are going to go right into this same space and do our back post double crochet and the second one right there, and 10 sets of double crochets. So you're basically going to do this for the rest of row 2, and then I'll see you guys at the end of row 2. Row 3, I'm just making sure I insert my crochet hook in every space, just so I don't miss any space, any double crochet from the previous row, because we need to make sure that we have even numbers along the way. So after row 3, this is how your work should be looking. As you can see at the front, this is where the front post double crochet is actually showing, and this is the back side of your panel, and this is your front side. You can basically see by the stitches of the front post double crochet. So to get started with row 3, you're going to chain 1 as usual and right into the first with the first double crochet. So basically we are just going to do the same thing we did for the 2 previous rows. So whenever we are working at the front side of our panel, we are going to do front post double crochet, and whenever we are working at the back side of our panel, we are going to do the back post double crochet. That is basically what we are doing for the whole pattern. So coming up, I'm just going to go ahead and insert my first set of front post double crochet. I can never get used to the word. I'm going to insert my second front post double crochet right into the same line, and I'm going to go ahead and do my 10 double crochets. and right there with the second set of front post double crochet, and afterwards with my 10 double crochet. I'm basically going to do this for a total of 8 inches. So at the end of row 4, this is how long my top is. My back panel is at this point. It's a total of almost 2 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and continue to do the same process for a total of 18 rows. So I have to do a total of 14 more rows after row 4, and I'll come and show you guys how we do the decreases for the armhole. So you're just going to continue the same process, yarn over, turn, and then whenever you're working at the back, you make sure you do back post double crochet, and whenever you're working at the front, make sure you do a front post double crochet. So you can continue to do this for a total of 14 more rows, and I'll see you guys when I have 14 rows completed. So now I have my 18 rows of double crochet completed. So now we are going to start with our decrease row, because we are going to decrease for the armpit hole. And to start with our decrease row, we are not going to chain 1. We are just going to turn and yarn over, and right into the second double crochet we are going to go with our first double crochet. So basically we are just decreasing at each side, 1 at the side and 1 at the side, for a total of 5 rows. So I'm going to go right into the very next with double crochet, into the next, and we are just going to go ahead and do the same pattern we did with the front post double crochet and back post double crochet. Since I'm working at the back, this is the back of your panel and this is the front of your panel, I'm going to go ahead and do my first back post double crochet for this row right there, and into the very next with my second back post double crochet. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue the pattern with 10 double crochet, 10 back post, 10 double crochet, 10 back post until the very end, and I'll show you guys how we can go about decreasing at the end of this panel. So coming up at the end of this row, we have 2 more double crochet left. This is where we are going to do our second decrease for this row. So to do decrease, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the second to last stitch, pull through, insert your hook into the last stitch right there, pull through. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. So now you're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through the last 2. So this actually completes our first set of decrease. So to get started with our next row, so like I said, we are not going to chain 1 because we will be decreasing for 5 rows. So for the rest of the 5 rows, we are not chaining anything at the beginning of each row. So you're just going to yarn over and right into the second space right there. You're going to go right there with your first double crochet, and then double crochet in each space. At this point, it actually leaves us with a total of 8 double crochets on this side. Basically, we had 10 at the beginning, 10 at the normal row, and now because we've decreased for the second time, we have 8. And we are going to do the same thing on this opposite side. Basically, you're going to do this for a total of 5 rows. So at the end of the decrease rows, you should have a total of 5 double crochet at the beginning of the stitch and at the end of the panel, basically. So now I'm just doing my first front post double crochet because we are working at the front part of the panel instead of the back part of the panel. So coming up at the end of row 20, we are just going to go ahead and do a second set of decreases, and basically we are just doing the same thing, decreasing with these 2 last stitches together. So at this point, we have a second set of decreases completed. So I'm going to go ahead and do another 3 rows of decrease, and then I'll come and show you guys what my work is looking like at that point. So now I have my 5 rows of decrease completed. So I have a total of 23 rows. Let me check. Yes, so I have a total of 23 rows. So now I'm going to, for the rest of the back panel, I'm just going to do a basic rows without decrease or increases. So again, we are going to start again with chaining 1 because this is a normal row, and like I said previously, at this point you should have 5 double crochet at the beginning of this row and then 5 double crochet at the end of the row. So now to get started, you're going to chain 1, and right into the first you're going to go with your first double crochet and into the next with another one. So basically for this row and for the rest of your panel, you're just going to do simple rows with no increases and no decreases. So now I'm back with my completed back panel, and this is how it looks. This is the decrease side for the armpit hole, and right there for the other side. I did a total of 49 rows of this, which is a total of 16 inches long. So this is the perfect length for my top. If you want it longer, then definitely go ahead and make yours longer, but this is perfect for my top. So to get started with the front panel, it's basically almost the same as the back panel. So you're going to repeat the same process we did from row 1 up until row 23, where we stopped at a decrease row. So you're going to start from row 1 all the way to 23 for the back front panel. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll come and show you guys how we can go about the front panel. So I'm back with my front panel almost completed. So I have a total of 23 rows, and I just finished my last row of decrease. So now we are going to start the front pattern for the top. So to get started with the front pattern of the top, we are going to go ahead and chain 1 like I already did, and you're going to yarn over, and into this first 5 double crochet you're going to go there with your basic double crochet. And you right here with your 2 front post double crochet. Remember, we are working at the front, so we are doing front post, and whenever you're working at the back, you're doing back post. So after my 2 front double crochet, I'm going to go ahead and do 5 more rows, 5 more double crochet in this first 5 double crochet from the second set. After my 5 sets of double crochet from the second set, I'm going to go ahead and measure how wide this is at this point, because this is what is going to start working on neckline. So basically at this point it's 3 inches, 2.5, almost 3 inches, which is perfect. So now we are going to go ahead, and instead of doing double crochets for the rest of the row, we are going to do slip stitch. So we are just going to go right there and slip stitch right there. So we are going to go ahead and slip stitch until we get to the middle of this last set, because basically we did double crochets until the middle of this second set. So we are going to do slip stitch until the middle of the second to last set. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, but you definitely go ahead and look. So when I get to this point, this is where I'm going to do my front post slip stitch. Basically, I don't even know if that exists, but I'm just doing front post, and then I'm going to slip stitch right there and continue with the rest of my slip stitch. So coming up right at the second to last set of double crochets, I'm just making sure I'm working my way up onto the middle, which is just 5 slip stitch and 5 more double crochets. So after my last slip stitch, I'm just going to go right there with my double crochet, and then I'm going to do double crochet until the rest of the row. And right here I'm gonna go with my normal double crochet, front post double crochet, and my second front post double crochet, and my remaining 5 double crochets for the end of the row. So this is what your work is looking like. It looks a bit awkward. It's fine, don't worry, you get the gist at the end of few rows. So I'm basically going to do this for 3 more rows, which ends my work at a total of 10 inches. So right now it's 9.5, so I'm going to do this for 3 more rows until I get to a total of 10 inches, and then I'll see you guys at the end. Chain 1 as usual, and then you're going to go right into this first space with your double crochet, and right into the next with another double crochet, and right there with another double crochet. So right here I'm going to go with my first back post double crochet as usual, and to the next with my second. And right now I'm just working my first 5 sets of double crochet before I start my slip stitch. So now that I have my 5 double crochet, 2 back post double crochet, and 5 double crochet, I'm going to go right into this first slip stitch with another slip stitch. So basically I'm going to do the same process with slip stitch until I get to this end where I do my double crochet rows again. The tension might be a bit tight, but just make time and just be patient and get right into that. So coming up at my back post double crochet, I'm going to do back post slip stitch instead of double crochet right there, and right there into the next with a slip stitch, and there with my second set of slip stitch. So doing the back post single crochet is actually the hardest thing ever. What the hell is this? Now I'm like, who told me to do this? At this point I'm actually questioning my decisions, because nobody asked me to do this. But yeah, let's see. I'm definitely gonna like the outcome, so it's going to be worth it. So right now I'm just working my last set of slip stitch right there, and I'm going to go and continue my double crochet. My front, my back post double crochet, back post double crochet, and my last 5 double crochets to end of the row. So this actually completes this 2 rows. So we are going to go ahead and do this for the last row, because I think then my top is going to be 10 inches. So basically right now it's almost 10 inches, but I'm going to go ahead and do the last row, and I'll see you guys when I have that completed. So coming up, I have my last row completed, which actually leaves me with 26 rows of double crochet, and when I measured that, is a total of 10 inches, basically what we were going for. So now to get started with the rest of the pattern, we are going to go ahead and walk away with double crochets until this very end. So I'm going to chain 1, and right there with my first double crochet, and into the next. I'm going to go with my first back post double crochet, another one right there, and back into my normal double crochet rows. So from here, after doing 5 double crochet, 2 for back post, 5 double crochet, we are going to chain a chain that is basically this amount of double crochets. So for example, we have like 5 double crochet right there, and we have 2 front post double crochet, 10 double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, 10 double crochet, and 2 front post double crochet. So basically this 5 plus this 5 makes it 10, and plus this 2, 10, 30, and plus this 6, 3 front post double crochet makes it 36. So we are going to chain a total of 36. So you're basically just going to go ahead and count how many double crochets you have in this space where we did our slip stitch, and also your front post double crochets together, and then you're going to chain a total chain that leads you to that same amount. So I'm going to go ahead and chain a total of 36 chains. So after a total of 36 chains, I'm going to, because we are working at the back loop, don't forget we are working at the back panel, the back of the panel. So now we are going to go ahead and yarn over after last chain, and right into this first set of 5 double crochets that we have right here. We're going to go right in there with our first double crochet to complete the chain off. So basically this is what your work is looking like. So for the rest of the row, we are going to go with double crochets and just do the remaining pattern like we did at the beginning, right there with my back post. So basically this is what it looks like, and when you turn your work, this is how it's looking. So from here we are going to chain 1, first double crochet right in there, then just following the same pattern, going to go here with a first front post, second front post, and the second set of double crochets. So coming up to the chain that we did, we are going to go ahead and single crochet all around the chain until we get to this very end, and I'll see you guys at the end. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and finish off this row with my normal pattern, which is double crochets, front post double crochets, and last set of double crochets. So this is how your top should be looking like at this point. This is a bit bent, but no worries, it's gonna straighten in a bit. 10, 30, 36. So this is what your top is looking like. So to get started with 28, you're going to chain 1 and right into here with your first double crochet. So coming to the end of the set, this is where we are going to start the same pattern we did for the side of the top. So we are basically going to slip stitch for another 3 rows before we start, just the way we did there. We did 3 rows of slip stitch at the middle and double crochets at the side. So we're basically going to do the same thing. So right here with my first slip stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch my way all around until I get to the opposite side. So coming to the right at this side, I'm just going to do my last slip stitch, and then I'm gonna go right there with my double crochet sets. So this is what your work is actually looking like at this point. And so to get started with row 30, we are going to chain 1, first double crochet right there, and right here with my set of slip stitch throughout the chain. So this is how it looks after the second row. So we are going to go ahead and do a last row, and this is supposed to be this state, so I don't know why it's not being state, but after a few more rows it's going to come together. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my last row, and then I'll see you guys when I have my last row completed. So this is what my top is looking like after my 31st row. So like we did for the back panel, we'll do a total of 40 rows. So now we have 9 more rows to go on, and this is what it looks like. So now we are going to work the neckline. So after doing a slip stitch right here to go on with on the 32nd row, we are going to chain 1 and turn. So now basically we are just going to do double crochets right there, but now we are going to go ahead and repeat the front post double crochet pattern that we did for the set. So basically I'm just going to double crochet right here. So because usually we did 5 rows, 5 double crochets on the side, so we are going to go ahead and do another 5 before we do our second set of front post double crochet, because in every set before the front post double crochet we have 10 double crochets. So I already did 5. I'm just going to go ahead and do my remaining 5 right there on top of the slip stitch rows. The tension is a bit too tight, but just time and be patient and go right there and do your sets of front post double crochet. So I did a total of 10 double crochets plus this 10 double crochets right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my front post double crochet right here. And right then to the next space with the front post. And I'm going to go ahead and do another 10 for this set of 10, and then front post 10 set and front post, and then I'll see you guys at the end. So this is what it looks like after my first row, and this row was a struggle, but like I said, just take your time, don't rush it. Make sure you add your 36 chains, like the amount of chains you did. Make sure you add the amount of double crochets right there, because you don't want to do less, you don't want to do more, you want to do the right amount. So for the next row we are going to chain 1. And this next row is at 33rd row, so row 33 we are going to chain 1 and insert a crochet hook right there. And right here, and we're going to go with a back post double crochet and with a second back post double crochet. So basically we are just doing the same rows of double crochet, front post double crochet, same pattern all up until the very end of this row. So I'm just counting, so I don't do double crochet on top of my front post. So I'm just going to go with my back post double crochet right there after my 10. So right here I'm going to go with my back post double crochet. So now I have my 33 row completed. My 33rd row is completed, and as you can see, I did a mistake right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this out and repeat the same thing. So right here for my first post double crochet, I did, instead of a back post, I did a front post. So this is what I mean by you have to make sure you're doing back post at the back and the front post at the front, because if not, your pattern is not going to come out the way it should. So now that I have it completed, this is how it should look. Basically, like the front post should be at the front and then the back post should be at the back. So this is how your top looks like. This is a bit like this because of the single crochets and the slip stitch we did right here, but when you wear your top, it's just going to relax right where it's supposed to be. So now we have a total of 33 rows. So we did 40 rows for the back panel, so now we have to do 7 more rows of double crochet, but also mind you, we have to do the neckline. So for row 34 and row 35, you're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to chain 1, 5 double crochet, 2 front posts, 10 double crochet, 2 front posts, 10 all the way to the end, and we're going to repeat the same process right back. And when I have a total of 35 rows, I'll come back and show you guys how we can go about the neckline. So coming up, I have row 35 completed. So this is where we are going to start with our neckline. So right from this end, I'm going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and just going to work normal like I usually do. So after chaining 1, I'm just gonna go right there with my first double crochet and then all the way. So for the neckline, what I'm basically going to do is just right at the before the second set of front post double crochet, I'm going to stop at the 10th double crochet right here, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and going to do this for a total of 5 rows, and I'm going to repeat the same process at the opposite side. So basically for me, I'm just going to chain 1 and turn, and right into this first with the double crochet, and into the next with another double crochet. And whenever I get to the back post double crochet, I'm still going to go ahead and do my back post double crochet right there. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 again, and chain 1, and just continue the same for a total of 5 rows. So coming up at the end of row 5, this is where I actually end this part of my neckline, and I'm just going to end this off with a chain 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut off my yarn. So this actually completes the 40 rows that we did for the back panel. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process. So I did from this end, I did up until the second set of 10 double crochet. So I'm going to do the same thing, attach my yarn at the side right here, make a secure knot, and for me, I'm just going to chain 1 regular one like we usually do, and then just work my way up until the 10th double crochet from this end. So after completing my 10 double crochet right before my front post double crochet, this is where we get to chain one and turn our work and work on our second row. So I'm going to go ahead and continue the same process for a total of 5 rows like I did for this other side, and then I'll meet you guys and show you how you can go about attaching your front panel to your back panel, because at this point your front panel is completed. So to attach both panels together, you're going to make sure your front post double crochet on the front side and the back side are inside, because we will be sewing the outside, and afterwards we are going to turn the top around, which means this side is going to be the back side or the inside of your top, while the front post double crochet is going to be your outside. So you're just going to make sure you align your front panel right on top of your back panel. If you do, in my case, I have this situation where the front panel doesn't actually align, the upper part doesn't align with the back panel. No worries. The reason why this doesn't align, it's because of this decrease and this slip stitch we did at this part of the top. So it's fine, because when you wear the top, this is going to stretch very well on your body and you wouldn't even see that it's not even. So this is not a problem. If you have the same situation, don't panic, it's fine. So now I did not cut off my yarn right at this end when I finished my last 5 rows. So now I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch these two sides of the panel together. So this shoulder part, I'm going to slip stitch right at the back of this panel, and I'm going to cut off my yarn and do the same thing on this side, and I'll see you guys when I have that completed. So this is what the top looks like after sewing those both panels together. So to know where you have to sew your both panels at the side together, you're going to take your measurement. So you're basically going to use your own armhole measurement, and mine is 17. And when you divide 17 by 2, it gives you 8.5. So because I want mine to be a bit loose, I'm going to add 1 more inches to it, which gives me 9.5 instead of 8.5. So I'm just going to take my measurement tape and just align it with a piece, so I know where I'm going to start sewing. So 9.5 actually leaves me at this side, which means I'm going to start sewing my pieces together, slip stitching my pieces together from this end all the way to the bottom. So basically you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for both sides, and then your top is completed, and then we get to the sleeves. So now I have both panels completed and sewed together. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my work. And this is what your top is looking like. So this is what my stitching is looking like at the side. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure I straighten this out. And also the shoulders as well. So this is what your top is looking like at the moment. So you can go ahead and try your top on, and if you want to leave your top like this, definitely do so. This is also another way to, I think this is like a summer kind of thing, but since I'm making this top for fall winter, I am going to go ahead and do some sleeves. So let's get right into the sleeves. So to get started, I'm just going to attach my yarn, and then I'm going to make a secure knot. So secure it very well. So after attaching my yarn, now I'm just going to do a single crochet all around, but I'm also going to make sure I count how many single crochets I'm doing, so I can do the same thing for the opposite side. So you're basically just going to add 1 single crochet in every space available, but don't forget to count your single crochet. So you're going to chain 1 and just single crochet your way around, counting how many single crochets you're doing, so you'll be able to do the same thing for the opposite side. So guys, now I'm back at the starting stitch right at the beginning where I did my first chain 1. So to get started with this row, we are going to go right into the first double crochet right after the chain 1 with our first double crochet, and then we are going to go ahead and do 9 more double crochets, which actually leads us to 10 double crochets. So after our 10 double crochets, I'm just going to go ahead and do my first one, put double crochet right there, and then my second one right there, and then I'm going to continue and do my 10 double crochets before I do my next set of front post double crochet. So after my second set of 9 double crochet, I'm going to go ahead and do my second set of front post double crochet right there. So I'm actually just going to continue the same pattern until I get to the very beginning where I started. So this actually brings me to the end of my row. So I did my last 2 front post double crochet out of my 10 sets. So now I have my first double crochet that I did from the previous row. So I'm just going to go on top of this first double crochet instead of slip stitching it, because we are not chaining anything, we are walking around and we don't want the seam. So we are just going to go right on top of this first double crochet and start our first set of 10 double crochets. So you have to make sure you're counting how many double crochets you are doing in between each front post, because I skipped this one, so I had to come all the way back. So make sure you're counting, so when you get to the next set of front post, then you know if you did the exact 10 double crochets or if you skip anything, which I did. So basically you're just going to continue to do the same pattern all the way around until your sleeve is 18 inches long, until you have 18 inches long, and I'll meet you guys when I have mine completed so we can work on the rest of the sleeves. So now I have my sleeve halfway completed. So I did a total of 18 rows. So like I said, you can definitely go ahead and take your own measurements so you can know how long you want your sleeves to be. They should be around this side, because we are going to do a flare that is going to give us the ending. So from your shoulder all the way to this end, you're going to measure how long that is. Mine is 18, so I did a total of 18 inches. So now for the rest of the sleeves, we are going to go ahead and single crochet all around. So at this side where we started, this is remember we started our sleeve at the bottom, at the armpit hole, right at this bottom. So whenever we get to this side, that is when we finish one row. So at this end of this row, I am just going to chain 1, and then I'm going to go ahead and single crochet my way around like this, just 1 single crochet in every space. When I get to the front post double crochet, I'm still going to go ahead and do my single crochet right on top. So we are skipping the front post at this point because the rest of the sleeve does not have front post double crochet. So I'm just doing 1 single crochet all around. Just 1 single crochet all around until I get to this end where I started. Guys, by the way, I'm making this pattern as I go. So originally I wanted to go for a different sleeve, so now I'm just like, I switched up and I got another idea. So as you make the pattern, in case you want to go for a different sleeve, definitely do so. But I wanted to go for, originally I wanted to go for just a straight sleeve, but then I thought I wanted the sleeve to be a bit extra, because if you know me, you know I love extra sleeves. I feel like sleeves are just an old statement to a piece. Like, you can just make a simple top, but then the sleeve can just make everything look special and looks out of this world. So I decided to go for another sleeve. So if you want to go for a short sleeve, like I mentioned earlier, that is possible. Go for whatever sleeve you want. You can just play around with the sleeves. And yeah, basically that's what I was trying to say. So now I'm back at where I started with my chain 1. So I'm just going to slip stitch right into this chain 1. So if you take a look at the sleeve, you can see it's way bigger than it should be, which is what I was going for. Like I mentioned, I'm going for a loose sleeve. So if you want to go for a tighter sleeve, then that is also possible. So but you can see mine is way bigger than it should be, because now it's like 21 inches, but originally when you take a measurement of this part of my arm, I don't even know what this is called. Originally it's, let's see, it's so difficult to take your own measurement, but originally it's 8.5 inches. So this is like double the measurement of my actual arm, which is cool because I want it to be loose. So this is where we are going to go with the rest of the pattern. So I'm going to chain 1 and do another single crochet all around, because at the end I'm going to do a chain up thing going on, which you can adjust for your sleeves. That is the idea I'm going for. I've never done this before, so I'm going to chain 1 and go all around again with another single crochet row, and then I'll see you guys at the end. So right here I just made my way right to where I started, so I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch right into that space. So now for the rest of the top, we are going to switch a crochet hook to a 4mm crochet hook. So we were using 3mm the whole time, so now we are going to switch to a 4mm crochet hook, as you can see. And now for the rest of the top, we are just going to go ahead and double crochet our way all around. So you're going to do this for the rest of the length of your sleeve, basically. So if your sleeve is 23 inches, when it's long all the way to the side, and you already have 18, so you're just basically going to do the rest of the measurement until your sleeve has the perfect complete length. So now I'm just going to go ahead and right into this first single crochet from the previous row with my first double crochet, and into the next with my first next double crochet, sorry. So I'm basically going to go all around doing the same pattern until I have my complete sleeve, and I'll come and show you guys how you can go about attaching the drawstrings right where we did a single crochet to adjust it for the side, so it gives you the puff effect actually. So coming closer to the beginning of my row, I'm just going to go ahead and do double crochet right on top of the first row. So basically we're just working in rounds because we don't want any seam line along the way. So this is me doing my last double crochet right where I did my slip stitch. So it's a bit tight, but I'm just going to go right there on top of my second row with my second set of double crochet. So whenever I get to this end, that means I'm going to start another row of double crochet. So basically going to go around and do this for, I think I'm going to do a total of 10 rows, and I'll come and show you guys how we can attach the drawstring for the side of the sleeve. So coming up, I have my 10 inches completed, which actually leaves my sleeve at a total of 26 inches. So I'm going to make sure I work my way all the way to the end, which is right under the armpit, with my last double crochet. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and switch my crochet hook to seal off my sleeve. I'm going to switch back to 3mm. The reason why I'm switching back to a smaller hook is because I want to seal off this side, because you know we worked in rounds, so there's nothing here for us to slip stitch into to seal off the last row. So what I'm going to do is go right into my next double crochet. Instead of with a double crochet, I'm going to go with a half double crochet, and I'm going to go into the next with another half double crochet, into the next with a slip stitch, to the next with another slip stitch and a single crochet, and right here with my last 2 slip stitch, and that is actually going to complete the row. So as you can see, actually just decrease everything until it's not visible anymore, like the last row. So I'm going to chain 1 and cut off my yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and seal off my sleeve because the sleeve is 95% completed. The sleeve. Now we are going to go ahead and make a chain with the same 3mm crochet hook. I'm going to make a chain. So I'm going to make a knot, and then I'm going to make a total of 90 chains. So basically you're going to make a chain that is long enough. I did a chain that is 35 inches long. So now for the finishing of the sleeves, we are just going to start with right where we've started our chain, our rows. So right where we started our rows under the armpit, this is where we are going to attach the sleeve, and we are going to attach it where we did the 2 rows of single crochets. So right here, I'm going to attach one side of the string, one side of the chain, and I'm going to make sure I attach the chain all around. So like I'm just going to go ahead and lace this up all around until I get back to where we started with the lace up. Basically, this is what I'm just going to do, and this is what is going to give us the drawstring that we are going for. And make sure you're attaching it to this side, not to both sides when it's flattened. I don't need to do that, but if you need to like open your sleeve so you don't attach it on both sides, then go ahead and do that. But I'm just doing making sure I pass this through the single crochet rows we did right there until I go all around. So basically I'm skipping 1 single crochet into the next. I'm going to pass my crochet hook, and then I pass my chain right there. I'm skipping this set, and into the next I'm going to pass my chain right there. That is basically, so this is what is going to give us this thing that we are actually going for. So I'm going to skip 1 and into the next, pass my crochet chain, skip 1 into the next, cross my chain right here. So guys, this is how it looks after attaching the string. So you can go ahead and add some cute accessories or whatever you want to add to the string just to give it some extra thing. So you can go ahead and also make a knot right here, right there, and this is how it looks. I love this kind of thing going on. You guys know I love extras. So guys, this actually brings us to the end of this sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process for the opposite sleeve. So I did a total of 43 rows, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. So if you need to reverse, I'm definitely going to put the time lapse in the description below, so you can actually reverse to where we started with the sleeve, so you can go ahead and do the same thing for the opposite sleeve. So I'm going to get the opposite sleeve completed, and then I'll come and show you guys the final result of the top. So this is the final top, guys. I really love the way it came out, just the way I wanted, and I hope you guys enjoy and like this video. If you do, please give me a big thumbs up, and if you have any questions regarding this tutorial or anything, feel free to drop them in the comment section, and I'll definitely make time to answer those. And I'll see you guys in my next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do and join the family, because we have many more exciting crochet tutorials and crochet topics coming up. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao ciao.